What's the haps? I'm Meroka, and today I'm going to be taking a quick look at Mega Coin Squad by Big Pixel Studios and published by Adult Swim. So, Big Pixel Studios, they are, I think, a newcomer to the PC platform for the most part. They do have some titles under their belt, but looking at their website, they do seem to be mostly, they seem to have a background in mobile development, so kind of new to the PC thing, so that's kind of cool. So, what is Mega Coin Squad? It's a very arcadey kind of platform thing. It's a little bit weird to kind of describe, to be honest, so it might be best off by actually showing you it. First, let's get into the settings, so you can have a look at those first. We've got music and sound effects are not on sliders, they are toggleable, which is not ideal, honestly. We can toggle between full screen and window, and we have screen resolution. As you can probably figure out, it is going to be in a pixel art style, so there's not much else graphically speaking to go on there. I don't know why I've had so many pixel art titles of late. It's honestly not by intention or design or anything, it just seems to be the way things have gone. So yeah, more pixel art stuff in the works on this channel. Controls are not rebindable, but they're fairly simple. I mean, gamepad is obviously ideal for this kind of thing. We've got movement and 4 buttons for 4 controls, and it's also pretty straightforward on the keyboard, although, I mean, you are restricted to arrow keys. It would be nice to be able to rebind those, I suppose, but not terribly critical, as I say. It's fairly straightforward. We also have, I don't know why this is here, CRT effects. If you want to make your game look like this, you can make it look like this. I'm really not entirely sure why you want to make your game look like that. It's a little bit strange, but that's the thing you can do if you want. CRT effect. I'll be honest, the first few times I looked at that, I thought it said cat effect, and I was like, why would I want what is a cat effect, and why would I want it, and is this how cats see the world, or something? I don't know what that was, but no, CRT effect. I still don't know why you'd want it, but it's there if you want it. So let's hop on in. We have a character select. We have 5 to choose from. We've got Mikey, standard spiky-haired dude. We've got Steph, standard ponytailed girl, who's the lightweight, fast character with low weight and low power. We've got big burly dude with a huge beard, who's your heavyweight character. It's very slow. Then we've got 2 kind of oddballs down here. We've got just some dude with 5 o'clock shadow stubble, who's in a cat suit, and he's called Mouth. I don't even know. And oddly enough, to compare to Mikey, Mikey's got 3 stars across the board stats-wise. Mouth is just a straight upgrade, so I'm not actually sure why you would play Mikey when Mouth is there, because Mouth is just straight up better. You've also got Data, who is also strange. He's a robot wearing an Argyle jumper, I suppose. Sure, why not? His stats are kind of, he's sort of your oddball mix-up. Slightly heavier, slightly slower acceleration, kind of just something different to play, I suppose. So I've kind of had to go with these characters. I've played through the first few levels with these 3 characters just to see how they handle. So Mikey's kind of our balanced main character, the standard one most people are probably going to start out with, so I'll have a go with him. I will continue from 2-1. 2-1 being the second of 4 levels in the game. We've got our overworld map here. We've got the green levels, which, you know, your stereotypical first level. Desert is second, ice, and then, like, lava, I guess. So you've got 3 levels in each area in which you will be graded in performance with 3 gems at the end of it, and then you've got one kind of arena fight at the end against a bunch of enemies, at which point you don't get any gems out of it, you just get this big spinning coin on the map that says, you've done this area. And that means you can't go back to that area. Once you've done that area, you are done. I can't move around this map other than camera. Mikey is here on level 2-1, and he shall always remain on 2-1 until I beat the desert. There are 3 areas in the desert, and then there's another arena at the end of the desert, and once I've done that, I will be locked into the snow level until I'm done with that. So let's head on in, because it's the only way I can go. So Mega Coin Squad, what is it? It is this pixel art platform thing about collecting coins and feeding them into a piggy bank. Now, seriously, that's pretty much the entire premise. That is the entirety of Mega Coin Squad for you. You have to jump around these colourful arenas, fight a bunch of enemies, and try and collect as many gems as you can in whatever way possible. Most enemies will drop coins, most blocks will drop coins, and there are a bunch of coins everywhere in the arena. There's these coin blocks which will have coins in them. It's all about coins. There's many of them. I have I've got a shoulder dash charge thing forward. I can do that upwards, and if I'm in the air, I can press down, and I can do that downwards as well. I also have a fireball which I can throw, which was that was surprisingly well intercepted for me. I didn't expect to get him that well. I can do that and take out the cactus. There are a bunch of special weapons, but special weapons, I'm not finding any time just yet. And they come in a little yellow box with P written on it, and there are not any on this level. I have three lives on each level. There is, you can see the hearts in the top corner. Once they're gone, I will die. You cannot redo a level. Specifically, if you fail a level, you have to go back to the start of that area. There's one of the power-ups. I got a coin magnet, which is actually a pretty cool power-up. And that's gonna let me grab a bunch of coins pretty quick. You can press Y when you're stood near the piggy bank, or I guess it was Z or X on keyboard. No, it was spacebar on keyboard, wasn't it? And that will bank your coins. You can do that at any time, but one of the 3 gems you'll get to grade your performance at the end of the level is based on whether you bank them all in one go. So I need to try and get, my target is 400, you can see, and I need to try and get 400 coins and bank them all in one go for 1 gem. I get another gem for doing it without dying, so I failed that. And I get another one for doing it within par time, so I'm on the verge of failing that unless I can grab, you know, 75% of all the coins I need in the next 10 seconds. There are perks that you can get at the end of each level that will allow you to speed up that process a little bit, or give you more time, or a whole bunch of different things. So yeah, time bonus. I've got a few extra seconds to do this in, but it's not really going to save me here, I don't think. Especially not if I die like that. So let's try and take that out with a fireball. And we've got a coin spawner. It's going to give us a few extra coins, which is always nice. What are we up to? 330. I think I've got a perk that means I lose less coins when I die on this character, but dying 3 times in one level by jumping into cannons probably ain't going to help me too much, so I can retry the level. Let's try and get this right this time, so I can actually show you how it works. Let's try and get 400 coins. I've had surprisingly bad luck with Mikey, to be honest with you, compared to the other characters. The other characters I've made much better progress with. Mikey, I just don't seem to do too well with. I don't know whether it's something to do with the way the character's balanced compared to the others, or what. It may also be the fact that I have less perks for reasons which will become apparent shortly. The way the perk system works is it's tied inherently to how many diamonds you get at the end of each level. So, as I say, there are 3 diamonds max to be gained from each level, 9 from each world, and, as I say, you can't redo a level once you've done it, or not beyond, you know, dying and redoing the entire level. If you fail completely at a level, you'll go back and redo it, but you'll also lose all progress you made. So you kind of, unless you were doing really badly and wanted to restart over, you kind of don't want to do that too much. So then those gems that you get will spend on perks, and the way the perk system works is you've got a bit more control over what you get earlier on in the game, and as time progresses, you have less control. And it all will become hopefully apparent once I can actually finish this level and show you that system in play. So if I can... No! Up! Go up! I want that. And we've got bombs will blow up all the surrounding blocks, which is good because then they turn into coins. Some cannons here, which probably I should try and break. Yep. So then they're going to give me more coins. They're full of coins. That's a coin spawner. It's all coins. You can fire and I'll break that. And there we go. The piggy bank icon above my head means I'm done and I can deposit them. And I've got a few seconds left to do that. If I move out of range whilst I'm doing that, it'll break that and I won't get them deposited in one go. Which, as you can see, is another criteria for another gem. We've got time, lives, and doing it in one go are the 3 criteria for 3 gems we get at the end of the level, which will do our 3 perks. So we continue. Here's where you pick our perks. So we've got this sort of, it picks a handful of random ones from a whole bunch that are available. You'll get different ones each time, and some of them you'll really, really want, others you might not want so much, and each time we pick one out, this wheel spinning, such as it is going to get faster and faster and faster, and it's going to get harder to get the ones we want. So one I didn't really want a drill cannon, if I'm honest. I would have liked the fireball, to be honest. Do we have the fireball? The fireball is not on the wheel this time, so I don't even have that as an option. Perhaps the downwards dash might be useful to me. Yeah, the ground pound, so I can do that a bit more powerful. And then we've got one more, and it gets faster and faster and faster, so if you leave perks you really want till later on, it's going to be really hard to get them. I'm not actually sure there's many of those I particularly want. Maybe the magnet might be an upgrade we might like. So as I say, the fireball is kind of one I like to go for. The other 2 characters I played with, I've got the fireball up to level 3, and it's pretty powerful. It's level 2, it flies through any enemies and can hit enemies behind other enemies. At level 3, it flies through all blocks and is really quite large, so it just pretty much goes straight through the entire level. destroys everything in its wake, and usually leaves a big old pile of coins, so it's actually pretty powerful. We've obviously got the guns and stuff that we can get out, or like I have this assault rifle here. I can get them out of these the power blocks, and you can upgrade them as well in the perks menu. Honestly, I haven't done too much with the guns, just because I haven't found them to be especially useful compared to the fireball, quite frankly. The fireball just kind of shows up everything. Although the guns I have seen higher level upgrades for than the fireball. Fireball I think goes to level 3. I could be wrong. At later levels there may be more, but I've only ever seen level 3. Whereas the guns, some of the guns I've seen can go to level 4, which might potentially make them more powerful, more utilitarian. I'm not sure. It would be something to experiment and play around with. And I've got a rocket launcher, but I have only 1 life left. It's just slightly home in on enemies, but at level 1 it's not terribly powerful. A drill cannon, I've got that upgraded. That at higher levels presumably will go through more terrain, it will drill through things. At the moment I think I've got level 2, which is alright, but it's not great. There's a double jump perk you can get, which I found to be one of the better ones. I think when the perk timer thing is spinning slowly, I think the 2 you should really try and prioritize if at all possible. Oh god, I don't. And I'm dead. Not great. Yeah, the 2 you should really try and prioritize, I think, are fireball levels and double jump, because they seem to be by far the most useful. As well as the charge dashes, because they'll travel through more enemies and more blocks and more terrain as you go along. So it'll just destroy more stuff in its way and give you more coins, and it'll just generally help you perform better. If I head back to the menu, we'll try a different character, because I'm clearly not having much luck with Mikey. Go on to single player again. We'll do Steph, because she's sufficiently different. With Steph, I've managed to make it to level 3, which is Snow City. Which is, as you might imagine, it's going to be an icy level. That was not really a terribly big surprise, was it? So I've managed to do a little better with her. I've got a few more upgrades with Steph. With Steph, I made some more progress. I've got some good dashes. I've got the level 3 fireball, which, if I can stand still for a second, will... Oh, I've got a rocket launcher. That's no good. Can we do a fireball? There we go. That's what your level 3 fireball does. That'll travel through almost any block in the level, with the exception of, like, the ground blocks, I think. And it will pierce through enemies, as many enemies as you care to shoot down. So it's pretty powerful, and then I've got a double jump with her as well, so... Yeah, I've got a good selection of perks, because I did much better earlier on in the game than I did with Mikey. And I really don't want that. I would like that. I can take them out. So you're just getting the perks well early on means that the rest of the game actually becomes significantly easier. I think my main issue with Mikey is that I've handicapped myself, basically, is the problem with it. And whilst that doesn't necessarily feel so good, it's definitely an interesting design choice. It certainly seems like that's the way the developers actually intended this to work. It's basically, if you don't do well early on, you actually make it harder for yourself, which is actually quite an interesting design, to be honest. So there's actually an incentive for doing well, because it means it continues to make the game not horrifyingly difficult. Oh, that was not good. I have not taken many perks for Steph in order to maintain not losing my gems when I do take a hit. Which does mean if I take a hit, I lose all my gems with Steph, whereas with Mikey I only lose 100 or 150, I think. Which honestly doesn't serve you quite so well as a perk early on in the game, but later on it might serve you better, since you're less likely to get the perks you actually want. There's maybe less of a penalty later on for actually, you know, dying and losing your coins. You're not going to be quite so affected by one single death losing you a gem later on in the game when you've already got a bunch of perks, as you might be earlier on when you didn't have the perks and you needed them in order to perform well. So there's a very interesting dynamic going on with that. Especially, as I say, the whole fact that there's no backtracking, you can't go back and redo a level. That adds to the whole thing. I think, in fact, that's probably more the core of the whole thing. The fact that you cannot go back at any point is just the reason that the perk system actually works in any way, shape, or form. Otherwise, you would just go back, redo a level till you got 3 gems, and basically you just end up one-shotting everything. So I can fire through there. That wasn't nearly as effective as I'd hoped. Anyway, I have 428 coins, which is not bad. Not enough yet. Could be close, though. I've got a few seconds left. There we go. Piggy bank icon means we're good. Let's bank that. I'll say you do need to stand by it, otherwise... Yeah, you can still get attacked, you can still get hit, you can still move out of range and mess things up at that stage. So I get 2 gems for that, so that's okay. And here we go. The thing's spinning incredibly fast because I've got many more perks, so it moves much faster and I'm less likely to get what I'm after. I'm not sure there's a whole lot on there that I'm interested in. The extra time might be useful, so if I can try and grab that. No, I got a rocket launcher upgrade. I got one more shot though, but it's going to go even faster. We've got a time upgrade, we've got the coin reduction. That'd be quite cool if I could grab that now. No, we've got a grenade launcher upgrade. Fine. But that's what we get. Because it gets much, much harder to get the perks that you're interested in. Which is kind of cool in its own right. I do like that as a mechanic. So, we'll head on out. I mean, I think you've got the gist of it here. You can see how the gameplay works on a single player level. It is worth noting that there is a multiplayer. I have no particular option to play with anyone at the moment. I believe it's local only, although I could be wrong on that. No, I think it's local only, which would make for a good little couch co-op thing. I believe you can compete over coins, or you can work cooperatively together, perhaps. I'm not entirely certain on the way multiplayer works, but it does seem like the sort of thing that might be quite fun. Now with, you know, like your Steam home in-home streaming and whatnot, you could get a bunch of mates around together on the couch and play something. I think that could be quite a cool little game for that. The single player, as I say, there's only 16 levels. You might get through them fairly quickly depending on how well you do, what perks you pick and things. You might do better or worse than me, but if you do better than me, you're going to get through it pretty quick. And it might not last you very long, so I think the multiplayer might be the saving grace for this game, but as I say, it's not really something I can check out. So this game will be out on Friday the 15th of August. It will be available for $14.99 or your regional equivalent, with a discount for the first week, bringing it down to $11.99. As I say, if you're just doing the single player, that might be asking a little too much for what could potentially be quite a short experience. But if you're looking for a multiplayer title, I do think this one might well have a bit of potential. But that'll do it for today. So this has been Mega Coin Squad. I have been Meroka. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.